In the heart of 1944, a shadow stretched across Europe. Nazi Germany's iron grip held nations captive, from the shores of France to the vast plains of Russia. Freedom seemed a distant dream, a flickering ember in a world consumed by darkness. But in the secret war rooms of London, a plan was taking shape, a plan of audacious scale, born from desperation and resolve. The Allies knew that to break the fortress of Europe, they needed more than just a battle. They needed a tidal wave of force, a decisive blow to turn the war. Their answer was Operation Overlord, the largest, most complex amphibious invasion ever conceived. The fate of the free world would hinge on its success. Months of meticulous, clandestine preparation followed. This wasn't just about assembling an army. It was about orchestrating a symphony of war on an unimaginable scale. Intelligence agents risked everything to gather crucial data on German defenses. Engineers designed and built specialized vehicles, floating harbors, and underwater pipelines. Meanwhile, a brilliant campaign of deception, Operation Fortitude, was launched. Using inflatable tanks, fake radio traffic, and a phantom army commanded by the famous General Patton, the Allies convinced Hitler that the main invasion would strike at Pas-de-Calais, the narrowest point of the English Channel. As Hitler fortified the wrong coastline, the real invasion force gathered in southern England, a city of men and steel, hidden in plain sight, waiting for the signal from their supreme commander, General Dwight D. Eisenhower. Every blueprint, every coded message, every soldier's training was a piece of an immense puzzle, all leading to one single, momentous day. Then, under the cloak of darkness, the moment arrived. In the pre-dawn hours of June 6, 1944, the largest armada in history set sail across the turbulent English Channel. This was D-Day. Over 150,000 Allied soldiers, American, British, Canadian and more, embarked on a journey into history. The first to arrive were the paratroopers, dropping behind enemy lines to sow chaos, capture key bridges, and disrupt German communications. As dawn broke, the naval bombardment began, a thunderous roar that shook the very coastline of Normandy. The first waves of infantry stormed ashore onto 5 beaches, codenamed Utah, Omaha, Gold, Juno, and Sword. On Utah, American forces met lighter resistance, quickly securing their objectives. But on Omaha Beach, it was a different story. Nicknamed Bloody Omaha, it became a crucible of fire and death. Higgins boats were torn apart by artillery before they even reached the sand. Soldiers, weighed down by their gear, drowned in the surf, or were cut down by relentless machine gun fire from heavily fortified bluffs. It was chaos, a desperate struggle for every inch of ground. Amid the terror, heroes emerged. Medics braved the hailstorm of bullets to tend to the wounded. Junior officers and sergeants rallied scattered, terrified men, leading them in daring charges up the cliffs. Slowly, painstakingly, against all odds, they clawed their way off the beach. On Gold, Juno, and Sword beaches, British and Canadian forces battled through their own zones of fire, pushing inland, fighting through seaside towns and fortified German positions. D-Day was a tapestry of immense courage and unimaginable sacrifice. A day when ordinary men were called upon to do the impossible. Securing the beaches was only the beginning. The next battle was for Normandy itself. The Allied forces found themselves entangled in the treacherous Bocage country, a dense maze of thick hedgerows, sunken lanes, and small fields that had existed for centuries. Each hedgerow became a natural fortress for the German defenders, turning the advance into a brutal, grinding battle of attrition. Progress was measured in yards, not miles, and every field was paid for in blood. The fighting was close, personal, and savage. To break the stalemate, the Allies launched Operation Cobra. A colossal carpet bombing run shattered the German front lines, creating a corridor for General Patton's Third Army to pour through. Armoured divisions, finally unleashed, raced across France, outflanking and encircling German forces. The breakout was on. Villages and towns that had suffered under years of occupation were liberated one by one. The sight of Allied tanks rolling down their streets was met with joyous tears and cheering crowds. The culmination of this lightning advance was the liberation of Paris on August 25th, a moment of pure euphoria that symbolized the imminent collapse of the Nazi regime in France. The Battle of Normandy, from the landings on D-Day to the liberation of Paris, was a monumental victory, but it came at a staggering cost. Over 425,000 soldiers on both sides were killed, wounded, or went missing. Thousands of French civilians also lost their lives in the crossfire. But this costly sacrifice was the turning point of the war in the West. It opened a vital second front, forcing Hitler to divert precious resources and ultimately sealing the fate of his empire. The success of D-Day was a testament to international cooperation, strategic genius, and the sheer grit of the individual soldier. Today, the beaches of Normandy are peaceful. The waves gently wash over the sands where so much blood was spilled. Rows of white crosses in immaculate cemeteries stand as silent, solemn reminders of the price of freedom. They stand in tribute to a generation that faced down tyranny with unwavering courage, giving their tomorrow for all of our todays. Their story is a powerful reminder of what can be achieved when nations unite for a common cause. If you were moved by this chapter of history, remember that these stories live on because we continue to tell them. Please consider liking this video and subscribing for more explorations into the pivotal moments that have shaped our world. Thank you for watching.